Unlikely Heroes Studios invites you to relax your body and breathe deeply, completely. Observe your thoughts and let them pass through your mind without clinging. Feel the air on your skin. Ingest the entire contents of your hyperreality travel medication packet with a sip of orange juice if desired. Observe departure safety protocols and descend to the life support tanks in an orderly fashion. You are about to embark elsewhere. Folded in this book is a deep mystery composed of fabulous, exciting, funny, and terrifying short comics works. Boundaries between genres, styles, moods, time, and space will appear to blur and dissolve. Industry professionals share the pages with fresh new talent. These phenomena are natural. Do not be alarmed. Comics creators and fans of the past, present, and future await you on the other shore with open arms, medieval arms, cowboy pistols, tales of love and freedom, jetpacks, and auga horns. Your return from this voyage is not guaranteed, nor is your sanity nor your concept of reality. In exchange, you are relieved of limitations. You are free.
Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Unlikely Hero Studios Presents. So today, as always, we have with us Lori Foster, inker extraordinaire. Hi, Lori.
Hey.
And we also have the man with the plan, Johnny Pence. Hello. And joining us right now as special guests, we have Matt Frank.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm totally a professional. I actually may have just broken something. Hold on.
While you're doing that, I'm going to introduce our other special guest, Katy Rewston.
Hi.
And screaming into the comics industry, but she's doing all right. We're going to be joined later by a couple other guests, so if you guys are waiting to see somebody who isn't here right now, just hold your butts. They'll be here soon.
Hold them.
So we are going to talk more about Elsewhere, if you didn't get that hint from, the whole video that we played beforehand. I would like, so does anybody have the Kickstarter up right now? Because I'm curious at where it is. I know where it was a little while ago.
It looks like we're still at the magic 7777.
Yeah.
I mean, cool, but also somebody move that before the end of this stream.
Hopefully in increments, so it'll be like 8888, right?
That would be nice.
1100 at a time. I think that's reasonable.
I'm cool with that. We already have a bunch of people saying hi. So Stephen House says hi. Heather Power says hi. Andrew Duggan says hi. Hi. Thank you for showing up, you guys.
Look at all those people.
We already have 7 viewers according to my little ticker thinger.
77777.
Whoa. That's 7 everywhere.
That's gotta be like a sign, right? Something. I don't know.
It does.
Anyway, Matt, do you want to wait till Paul gets here to talk about your guys' story? Because you didn't get to come last time because the entirety of Texas just shut the fuck down.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. We were bummed about that, but we survived. Ted Cruz can't kill us that easily. But at the same time, we can hang out for a minute. If anybody else wants to talk about some stuff, give it a little time for Paul to show up. But otherwise, I'm totally fine kind of launching in and then letting him pick it up later. Whatever works for y'all.
All right, all right. I mean, I was enjoying the wash style dinosaur fight there. Too. You could just do that for the next hour.
Oh, well, hold on. I've got a couple more
We
over
shall
here.
call it this land.
I've got these here, and I've got this one here. And hold on, I just got this guy in today. Wait,
Oh
hold
shit!
on. I've got a Zeton here. I just got this guy in today. It's an old Turok action figure.
Oh, Turok.
Yeah. Something just fell on my foot. So, or I can just talk about comics. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess the short version, and of course, Paul can elaborate on that later. Is Paul and I contributed not so much a short story, but like a preview, a vertical slice, one might say, of.
I like that vertical slice.
Yeah, the first issue of Miss Medusa's Monstrous Menagerie for Elsewhere. And as we've talked about on previous streams, it's a long in-production project between myself and Paul. I conceptualized it back in, God knows when, a couple of years ago. Paul overheard me talking about it and then started writing it in his head and then telling me about it. And then I said, Paul, do you just want to write this? He said, yes, please. Yeah, the short version of the story is that it's a circus, a carnival that takes place. It's circa, though, I want to say around about the 1960s in the American South. And it's owned and operated by mythological characters and monsters. So that was our story, and we're sticking to it. Yeah.
Well, I've seen enough of it to know that it's going to be fucking awesome. So, I love the stuff that you've done so far, and I loved listening to you and Paul talk about it. What was that, like 2 streams ago? And then we went off on like more Godzilla tangents. So.
Gosh, I wonder why that would ever come up. And
we're like, Lori has this all planned out. Like, you guys are doing a Godzilla talk at some point here. We just need to schedule it. It's gotta happen.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of that happening after the end of March, after Godzilla versus Kong drops, and everybody pretends that they were totally into Godzilla for the last so many years. Because I was there first, damn it. Just kidding.
Goddamn hipsters.
Well, no, that actually is really funny. Like, I'm seeing so many memes and YouTube videos and stuff of people being like, here's the real theory on why Godzilla is a flabbity flu. And it's like, you're all children. But it is nice to see people getting into it, though. So, I'm just thinking, like, where the hell were you people when I was in 6th grade and didn't know how to talk to girls? I'll let you know when I do. But I don't know, just it's gonna be fun. It's fun, and it's exciting that more people are getting into it.
I know I said last time that I am not in. I haven't. It's not for lack of wanting to be. It's just I haven't seen any Godzilla stuff. I've seen one King Kong, so I'm gonna have to watch some stuff before I go to see this new movie. I have a list for you to watch. Oh, fabulous! Send that to me.
I shall.
I'll get on that. Between schoolwork and Lori cracking the whip, and well, I'll get her done.
Yeah,
and we still have like the boyfriend and I are still, we have like a whole season of the Dragon Prince to finish before we go into new stuff.
Gotcha. I mean, that's the thing, is that I'm not going to tell anybody to sit and watch all 35 Godzilla movies. And I'm not exaggerating. Last I checked, I think that's where we were at. But there are some highlights if you want, like the oeuvre, the garnish, the panache. You get a taste for it. My assistant Casson and I might be live streaming the original King Kong versus Godzilla on my Twitch channel at some point this month, which is going to be hilarious because that movie is ridiculous. But anyway, I could talk about this stuff all day, and if y'all want to talk about other stuff, that's perfectly fine.
You need to save all that enthusiasm for the one where we get to talk only about that. I just want to point out quickly, Andrew Duggan said that they just upgraded their pledge. So
wow.
7777.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, the sevens are shot.
For Andrew for making it budge.
Oh, yeah, we're just under 8K now, guys.
That's beautiful.
When we hit 8K, everyone backing in a physical tier will get a really sexy art print done by one of the contributors to Elsewhere, Octavia Moon. So we're what are we? $11 short.
Oh man,
that's an attainable goal.
I'm tempted to go and like just pledge $11 myself.
Yeah, if anyone wants to do that.
So I'm not supposed to do that. JC Carter said Miss Medusa's a gorgeous art and a gorgeous story. Oh, great story.
Aww.
Story isn't gorgeous, it's only great.
Thank you. I should mention JC. He's also currently running a Kickstarter for a book that I'm going to ink called The Shaolin Nun.
Oh, yeah, cool.
JC, you're welcome to link that in the comments if you want. Try to get guys, if you want to go back that would be great.
If you put the link up there, I can pop it up onto the screen here. I'm learning so much about how to run this freaking stream interface. It's so fun. So
I just keep having a heart attack every time I look at the actual Kickstarter page because it goes down to pounds with me and it's like £5,719.
Oh,
like what's happening to the numbers?
It's so depressing.
Andrew said they bumped up their pledge up for the leather-bound book.
Those are
wow.
Awesome, and I've never actually seen one of those.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you. The leather-bounds look so good. I don't even have one because they're so expensive and awesome.
Yeah. We can't afford them.
I will have to send you some extra stuff though, Andrew, for backing and bringing it up during the stream. That's really awesome of you.
That was awesome. Thanks.
I'm gonna have to dig and find something that you don't have of ours, but I will find something and send it to you.
I have some stickers that they're not in any way related to Unlikely Hero Studios or comics at all, but I'm throwing them in for the cause, and I totally forgot to grab like just a sticker, but I have my board here that I stuck one to, so you guys can look at this.
Oh yeah, we should send one of those to it.
Ooh.
They're avocados.
Avocados, and they're yellow. See that? Can you see it?
If he's a lawyer too, that'd be lots of
piece
fun.
of electrical tape that I accidentally put over top of it. So anyway, Lori, we have some non-Elsewhere related news for the studio, right?
Oh yes, thank you. We just put Unthinkables issue 1 up for sale on our website, just uhstudios.com. It's in print and digital, up for sale. We have a Martin Simmons cover and the Ian Richardson cover available. And if anyone was waiting for it to go on sale, it is now on sale. Very exciting.
That's a fun
Oh,
book.
gross. I just burped. Did you guys hear that? It was so gross.
You're okay.
What happened? I wasn't looking.
Stephen House said he just bumped it up too. So yay!
Oh, thank you.
I bought an Android, so I can't get away with a no money excuse. Oh.
Yeah, Steve and I are both Nendoroid addicts.
Nendoroid.
I have seen them, but I have not.
That shit right now.
So,
and
hi, Lori,
we just went up again, so we're over 8K. So like I said, everyone pledging at a physical tier will now get a bonus print.
Woo!
I saw that print. That is a sexy ass print.
I don't think
It's
I've seen it
awesome.
yet.
Yeah, you posted that on the on your Facebook feed or on the.
It should be
somewhere. I'll put it up on the Instagram later tonight so that everybody can see it up on our Instagram too. I just have to, remember to do it.
Awesome. So thank you to, let's see, DB Irwin, JC Carter, Adam Goldstein, and Brian McAvoy for pledging.
Bananas.
Oh, geez, I just I looked back over to Kickstarter, and I didn't know they added that little feature where the number goes when.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's
Isn't it addicting?
Exciting,
Yeah.
isn't it?
That's fun. Yeah, I just I'm putting it out there too. I will freely admit, because I have my hands in so many different pots, it gets a little overwhelming, and I sometimes forget to share stuff. So I'm really trying to do my due diligence of getting elsewhere back out there. Just been playing catch up after digging our way out of the snow, and so I'm doing my best to put the word out. So yeah, there you go. Got a couple likes there. That's fun. But yeah, very excited to be part of all this. Yay. I get to work in real comics.
As real as it gets. Smell the comics.
Oh, Brian McAvoy just said, hey, you pronounced his name correctly, so 100 points. Which I heard you say it, but I did not make the connection because that's Ginger. So hi. Yeah. And I'm like, I never make the connection, and I'm trying to get into the habit of not doing that anymore because it's just, oh, there's a cat in front of you. Oh.
So sorry.
So anyway, yeah. So I'm trying to not do that anymore because I can't refer when we're working on our little side project. I can't refer to him as Ginger to everybody that doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm trying to remember to refer to him as just Brian, and it just comes out wrong. It leaves a weird taste in the mouth. I don't know. So yeah, you said his name, and I was like, that seems familiar, but I don't know why.
He should just change his name on Facebook to Ginger McAvoy. It's fine.
This is probably the first time you've logged on in like what, a year now, Brian? I know. Anyway,
we'll give Matt Frank all the credit for that. He's just really special.
Carter said had to get my physical copy. I got to review the book for my podcast, the world's greatest comic book podcast.
What?
Ooh, highfalutin friggin' name there.
That's awesome.
I like it.
No, that's a lot of pressure, isn't it? Be the world's greatest.
The greatest.
No, that's the sweet spot.
No, I think I'd like to be like the fourth greatest. I don't want to have the pressure of having to remain and like everybody that's on your ass trying to get past you. I don't know.
I feel like I'd be more inclined to listen to a podcast called the fourth greatest comic book podcast in the world. Like that seems to me, well, because then you know what you're getting. It's more honest.
It's still pretty good. I mean, that's not like chopped liver.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the new name of this live stream is the fourth greatest comic podcast. So we're not podcasting technically, so we'll have to.
I mean, I'd tune in up to like 25th probably, right? So number 11, sure.
I wouldn't even call my kaiju centric podcast the 17th greatest kaiju centric podcast in the world. I don't know, and even though I know there aren't even that many.
Well, I just want to pause everybody because Paul Hanley, the ceiling fan, has officially shown up. Here we are. How you doing, Paul? Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Hey, the connection's really weak. It's back for the moment, though.
Oh.
The ceiling fan causes a lot of interference. It's okay. We understand.
Just the way Paul talks about it, it's just like, I'm at outpost 7. There's something here. It's dog. Now it's Kurt Russell, and so just
We're gonna have to try. I have a theory that I am convinced the StreamYard people said it wouldn't work, but I think it will. So we're gonna have to test it. Not today, but soon, because I think it'll work, and then Paul can still tune in even though his internet is garbage. It's going to work. I'm telling you. Anywho's. So.
Anybody.
Let's see. Who else has some news for us today? Paul, we were waiting for you to come to talk more about Miss Medusa. So if you want to get that in before your internet craps out again. Uh-oh.
I lost him.
We lost him.
Right? No?
Ooh.
Well, Matt can talk.
Well,
Can you hear me now?
if I can do nothing else, it's speak for my friends. No, I mean, I suppose there's just more I could talk about with regards to the stories, the sort of stuff that Paul would have talked about. I mean, initially when I conceptualized the idea,
Matt, you better take the lead.
Good try. Good try.
he said it. Matt, because my leg.
It was like 10 seconds of latency.
Okay.
Oh, poor Paul.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. So initially, when I conceptualized it, it was based on a poster design I had made for a convention called SoonerCon, and I think I talked a little bit about this in the last stream I was on. But I guess just a refresher, they wanted their theme for that convention was sort of a circus, like a circus kind of theme, and they wanted it kind of monstery. So, and and while I was designing the poster, I came up with I thought there should be some kind of ringmaster, but what kind of monstery ringmaster? And I don't remember what exactly sparked this idea, but I thought a Gorgon would be fun, a Medusa, snake hair, and all that. And I also have a lot of fondness for the character of Zatanna from DC Comics, so that whole look I felt like kind of merged really well. And what was that, Paul?
What?
It's just thinking him. He's like, "Oh, Matt's fucking it up. He's fucking the whole thing up. The whole thing. The Kickstarter starts ticking down. It starts going to oh no, now it's down to 6,000." So, I guess I'll keep going.
I think that was just a groan of frustration about his interview.
or dying.
I feel so bad for him. I feel so bad. But so like I had
Everything's fucked here, guys.
We love you.
We love you, Paul.
Love you, Paul. I feel like as instant I start talking again, he's gonna be. What's that?
I didn't mention I'm broadcasting from Mars.
That explains everything.
Do I keep going or not? I'll put it to a vote. Go.
Why
If
not?
you dare.
Yeah, go ahead.
The shit show in every sense of the word.
Remember that SpongeBob episode where he tries to get the piece of candy and the bus keeps leaving him?
Oh yeah.
Reminds me of that.
So okay. So I remember, like I had said earlier, I was kicking around ideas for an original comic because I've been wanting to make an original Critter on for a while, and I've kicked around several different ideas, and eventually, after SoonerCon, I remember looking at that and thinking that artwork I had made and thought this would make for a really good story, and I of course got SoonerCon's blessing, and they've been very cool about it. I'm sure we'll talk to them at some point about doing something, some kind of release. Maybe we can have a release party. When we can have parties again, and and I remember well, there he goes.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, friend.
We'll avenge you.
Don't like the idea of the party.
So I remember talking to Paul about it, and I sort of kicked around some high-level concept about the main characters and what the plot would kind of be centered around, this idea of a circus, again, run by monsters, operated by monsters, starring monsters or mythological creatures as it came to be. And I came with some of the initial characters as well, like a Sasquatch, who's essentially a secretary or an office assistant. And I just thought it was really funny, the image of a big Sasquatch typing on a little typewriter.
Happens every day in Georgia.
Well, there you go. And And so I was just kicking ideas around, and Paul just got really excited about it. He took it, he ran with it. Like he just started writing whole story arcs basically. And this was over the course of one weekend. He would be like, okay, but Matt, like we were at a convention in San Antonio a couple of years ago, and he just like would come to me the next morning before the show would start, and he'd be like, okay, but Matt, what about this? And we could do this whole thing where this wasp woman, and then there's like, but she has a problem with mummies, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's really cute and really fun. And again, he seemed to really fall in love with it. And as I say, I wasn't in love with it, but it just the more we talked about it, the more complicated it seemed. And I decided we really need to Paul seems like he could really drive this and dedicate the time and energy to it that my ADHD ass probably couldn't sit down and manage. But and so as a result, Paul has read all these books on circuses and mythology and the socio-political status of the American South in the 1960s, and what music was popular at the time, what movies were popular at the time. And so as a result, he really fleshed out this world and made it a functional narrative. And just some of the stuff he and I have kicked around has been so just mind-blowingly cool. Like it got to the point where, you know, I was thinking like, okay, well, he'll run everything by me and I'll give him my notes and we'll kind of do this back and forth. But it got to the point where he would just be like reenacting the comic to me in his house. Like he's like, and not so much, but he would be telling me the dramatics of the story and kind of like almost like a one-man show. And I'm just like, and then what happened? And I've had so few notes because the story has been so crackerjack and so tight since day one. Very, like, we've had rewrites and we've had revisions and stuff, but I mean, I'm just super stoked that people are finally going to get to read at least part of it, because the scene we chose for Elsewhere is just, I'm really proud of it.
It shows. I mean, the details are all there. Like yeah, that's a tight vertical slice. It's a tight little piece. I like it a lot.
Well, that was definitely Paul's idea, was to take this conversation as sort of a window into this world, because there's really, if you think about it from a macro concept, it's very, not a whole lot happens. Like it's not like a fight or anything or an adventure. It's just a conversation between two characters. But through that conversation, so much is revealed that you get such a sense of the flavor of the world and these characters and how they interact with each other. I really, and I also have to say, because again, I'm so busy on stuff, Paul really also stepped up because he's a great artist in his own right. He stepped up and just kicked ass on these backgrounds and the colors too. I'm just like, I feel so like, I can't help but have a little bit of imposter syndrome because so much of this is Paul's show. And here I come in like, well, let me tell you all about this thing that Paul spent 2 years working on. While I'm over here being like, I'm gonna draw Godzilla. But it has been a lot of fun, and I've tried as much as I can to be there and be present and as much part of the creative process as I can. But again, I kind of just want to stay out of Paul's way.
Yeah, he's a bulldozer. Like it's crazy. Like I don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
I'll ask him one question and it's like there's like months of backstory that I'm like, where did this come from?
You get a novel when you ask a question?
Yes, it's amazing.
No, it's great.
It's such a beautiful comic as well. I saw it in the preview. It's so lovely. I really want to read more of it actually after seeing that.
Yeah, the colors are what really did it for me. Like I was looking at all of the process. I was looking at some of what I wasn't looking at all the process. I was looking at some of what Paul was sharing. And like it was when the colors got, because I was looking at it going, oh, it's so pretty, and then when he dropped the colors in, I was like, oh my god, this is gorgeous.
Mhm.
Like I don't even care about the story anymore. The fucking art is so pretty. Like, I don't even care. But the story is great too, so that really wraps up, puts a nice little bow on it.
Yeah, it really, I really felt again that little touch of imposter syndrome, because Paul really did step up to make it happen the way it did, because I was working frantically as I could to get the characters down and to make sure that their faces matched, and if I wound up cheating a little bit with copy paste here and there, still trying to tweak it so that it's not just the same faces over and over again. I want to make sure that I'm reflecting the personality of each character as they're talking. But at this time, I was working on the character work for Medusa. I was also on this ridiculously tight deadline from another client that I can't talk about yet, but they just kind of hit me out of nowhere, and I had to be like, well, I really need the money. How much am I sleeping this week? So yeah, but again, like, I felt like it all came together really nicely, and of course Lori has been infinitely patient with us, which we deeply appreciate.
I'm excited for more. Like, it's purely selfish. Like, I'm so excited.
Now you know where her motives lie. Pinky Caston on Twitch says, Matt, you talk like you don't work 16 hours a day.
I just don't work 16 hours a day on one thing. I work 16. Also, that's Caston, my assistant, and my office fairy. She's the one who handles all my print orders and stuff, so I don't have to. Everybody say hi.
I love the screen name. Hi.
Thank you.
What's your screen name?
Pinky Caston is
that track.
Yeah. Did you just share some information you shouldn't have?
She's the one who shares all of it. Y'all should join us when I'm on. She is with me on Twitch a lot when I do live drawing, or we've been watching kaiju movies, because as my assistant, she needs to know about kaiju, so she and I will watch kaiju movies live on Twitch. We back kind of around Valentine's Day, we watched 2 Gamera movies back to back, which he's a turtle, and it was fantastic, because here she is screaming about how that's not how physics work, and I'm like, sure you are. It's a Japanese monster movie. Your physics have no place here.
Well, hey, Paul popped back on, so let's see if he can stay for more than a minute or two this time. Welcome back, Paul.
Hey!
Oh,
Hey!
I didn't know we were doing that. Hold on. I just got it. There it is. Wait, I can't.
Should we just all leave these two just to give the puppet show? Like, that seems more entertaining than anything we could talk about.
Do I have a puppet? I have a puppet around here somewhere. Hold on.
Oh, that's an actual. You can. Oh my god, that's awesome! What the hell,
Lori? Where's the super puppets?
Wait,
I should
be sock puppets. You should.
It'll be complicated for me to get them, but I'll bring them for the next stream.
Next time it's gonna be Unlikely Heroes puppet show for next time. I gotta whip some shit together. I sent my puppet.
It was too loud. That was too loud.
I'm gonna have to make a new one for next time.
Sorry. From a moment, I thought it was the sea dragon from Subnautica. It looks a little bit like it from just like that angle.
Drashig, that's a Doctor Who monster, right?
Yeah, from Carnival of Monsters.
Aha!
See, it's sort of appropriate. It's kind of a theme.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. I've seen that thing on Paul's shelf for many years, and I don't think I ever got to play with it, though. So I'm deeply resentful of that.
I feel like that's your fault at this point.
You don't touch toys on another man's shelf, all right?
You ask first. But that could be a whole Pandora's box there too, I guess.
That is an issue.
There we go. Well, hey, Paul, Matt's been talking a ton about Medusa, but I don't know, you probably didn't catch any of it, but I wanted to know if there was anything you'd like to add.
Yeah, I don't know what he said.
It's a problem. We were talking about the gorgeous art and that you have really busted your ass to get this thing done. And Matt says he didn't do anything and you did all of it. And you're giving all the credit to you.
He's Bob Kane. I'm Bill Finger.
Oh, oh man, hurtful.
40 years from now, Jim Steranko is going to slap you at a Comic-Con.
I mean, honestly, that'd be kind of cool.
I would be okay.
And impressive if it's still Jim Steranko in 40 years.
Oh my God, I'm never going to wash my face again.
Cybernetic Jim Steranko. It's fine.
He's my favorite person I've ever met at a con. What a champ. What a weirdo.
He's an interesting dude.
Isn't he like crazy Trumpy too?
Yes. And after I found that out about him, I kind of regretted that I didn't base Max Frenzy in Unthinkables on Jim Steranko. Instead of making him a Nick Fury spoof, I should have made him a Jim Steranko as Nick Fury spoof. And had like the Andrew Jackson wig and the, the choppers,
like 5'2",
the sunglasses and the deep tan and the turtleneck, That story about him slapping Bob Kane is incredible though. And if anyone doesn't know what, we're talking about, like search that out on YouTube. Bob Kane, Jim Steranko.
Or you could just do Bob Kane slaps, because I don't know how many people are gonna Steranko. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who would fly in the convention. I think they would all just be Trump supporters. So I don't know.
I've noticed you tend to rile them up, which is so fun. It's so fun.
I really like. I swear, I'm a perfectly nice person. I just get riled up. I get riled up about stuff, and then
There's a line about how much you can tolerate from people that you don't share views with.
Well, what's that?
Oh, nice,
honey. I didn't see it.
All I saw was a crotch.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's how you spell it. Steranko. Steranko.
Steranko. Steranko.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Dolan said if Zach were still with us, I'd expect he'd have to bend Jim Steranko into a pretzel now.
I know. Oh my God.
If who was still with us?
Zach Dolan.
Oh, okay. I heard Jack, and I thought maybe Jack Kirby.
My bad. I need to learn to enunciate.
Kirby probably would have done the same thing. Kirby would have put him over his knee or probably broke his jaw.
I was gonna say, like, personality-wise, like, same difference. Zach is probably a little more violent than Jack Kirby, but I mean,
well, did Zach kill anyone though? I'm pretty sure Jack Kirby killed some people in World War II.
Yeah,
that's.
And I think Kirby was kind of a one.
Yeah, he went a little further than punch a Nazi.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like that is as far as like. That's beautiful. Look at that. As far as like stories of comic creators go, that story about Jack Kirby and the neo-Nazis showing up in the Marvel offices, one of my favorite stories. Does everybody know that story?
I don't.
Yep.
Katie's shaking her head no.
Short version. Jack Kirby, World War II veteran, working at Marvel, legendary comics artist, Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy. They were just working in the office one day, and a couple of neo-Nazis came into the first floor at the offices in New York, and they basically said like, "Well, we're here to talk to Mr. Kirby and show him what real Nazis look like, And the word reached up to the offices to where the Marvel offices were, and of course reached Mr. Kirby, and I love the way it's described. The rest of the staff watched in horror as he stood up, rolled up his sleeves, and just started marching for the elevator. They all had to stop him. They had to be like, no, no, no.
This is like in the 80s too, right? So
I don't remember when this was. I guess it would have been when did Jack pass away?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the impression that he was.
I think it might have actually. It might not have been neo-Nazis. It might have been actual American Nazis back in the 40s, because he was working at, back when it was Timely Comics. He was doing the original Captain America comics before we were even in the war.
This would have been before we entered the war.
So I think it might have been back when you could sort of get away with supporting, Nazi Germany in America.
If only we had the
Googling now when it happened.
Human knowledge in our pockets, and I could look this up, but I'm not going to. Anyway, the point of the story is just that by the time basically they were the guys, these Nazis were told like, oh, well, Mr. Kirby's coming down. They booked it. They got out of there. And I remember recently seeing a cartoon that another artist had drawn of Kirby. It's just a little side panel of Kirby walking, and all these artists like holding on to him or pushing him from the front, just trying to keep him from going downstairs, getting a fist fight with a couple of Nazis. Oh God, I love it.
Yeah,
so they ran away, did they?
Yeah, apparently they ran away, or they weren't there when he got down there. So
that showed him. Yeah.
I'd pay $50 for the viewing party to watch Kirby and Steranko fist fight, though.
Yeah.
That's like the Rollins Danzig matchup. That's like, yeah, okay.
Steranko killed 12 Hell's Angels with a sharpened silver dollar once.
No, he didn't. That's awesome.
I was gonna say, Paul, I'm inclined to believe a lot of what you say.
I'm not even going to Google that.
His Twitter feed when he pontificates about the good old days. It's entertaining.
12 Hell's Angels with a silver dollar.
Is Steranko one of those? Is Steranko one of those guys who kind of goes off and everyone just goes like, "Oh, that's Uncle Deb. He has to come to Thanksgiving every now and then. Let him get it out of his system." I feel like a little bit people have been that way about Frank Miller, just a tiny bit, but now we're all like kind of over it. We're like, all right.
I think as recently as like 3, 4, 5 years ago, Steranko had not quite gone off the deep end. It was just like colorful Republican, hey, I like guns, I like America, I like cops kind of guy.
Back when it was charming.
Yeah.
I'm watching West Wing right now. Cass and I watch it while we work, and I'm just watching this, and I'm like, man, I sure wish I knew what it was like to be proud of our government. So, boy, President.
Michael, and I'm with you. That is a beautiful image.
President Martin Sheen.
Dude, I can't even get past anything else on that show because the way that Martin Sheen puts on his jacket is just fucking awesome. Have you ever watched the way he puts on his jacket? It's just like, and he's just, what the fuck is that? Did he learn that in school? Like, how do you figure out how to do that? And it's just, it's like he's stringing on his cape and then bam, he's dressed. I don't get it. It's like sorcery.
He's just that good.
Oh,
good show.
It's magic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I say that like it's magic, it's sorcery, and then I saw my 5-year-old niece Natalie put her jacket on exactly the same way, and I was like, what the fuck? Nobody told me. Her teacher taught her that in kindergarten. What the fuck? Oh, and she doesn't need anybody's help putting that jacket on. She needs help zipping it up, but she doesn't need anybody's help putting it on.
In my day job, I work with Parkinson's people and do physical therapy, and some of the challenges that they have are things like putting on jackets. I'm going to bring in some video of Martin Sheen putting on his jacket. That's an excellent image. Put it on.
Pretty good. Yeah.
So, Lori, when there's a break now, Lori.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm
totally the headlights there for a second, and she was like, "What did I do?"
So great news. The Kickstarter's at $81.12 right now, $8,112. It's still going up. Like I said, we unlocked a secret stretch goal at 8K. Everyone backing at a physical tier gets a really cool print. Thank you. Let's see, Chuck Robinson. He's a new backer. We're at 186 backers right now. At 200 backers, there's another secret stretch goal. So if we hit it while we're on the stream, and anyone who's backing while we're on the stream, like I paid attention, Brian McAvoy was there, and of course Andrew upped his pledge. You guys will all get extra shit. I'm gonna put it in your loot. That was it.
Awesome. And you're gonna have some fun trying to figure out what to send Andrew and Steven and everybody who has like everything.
Yeah, some of these people have everything. We'll figure it out.
Here's a rock I got from the top of the mountain.
We'll start sending people Matt's Godzilla toys.
The real treat that you're getting is the book too.
You just jammed his brain into neutral.
As much as there was to talk about with Miss Medusa, how many pages was that? Was that 10?
7
in the book?
7 for Medusa.
Yeah. So we got 250 pages and nobody's fucking around. Every single story in there has the depth and the quality and the thought that goes into it.
I was fucking around a little, John. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking around a little.
You're not supposed to tell anyone.
Yeah. All I do is
you guys, did you see the back? Life. Did you see the back cover of the book yet, John?
I haven't.
Because I have. Oh shit! I
have to approve it, because I'm the.
My thing's over on the other side. Lori, Lori, when I told you that it glows in the dark, and I put it under the lamp so I was gonna charge it up and then take a picture and show you the glow in the dark, and I left it on the lamp for like 2 weeks, so it's been sitting there the whole time, but it's all the way over there. I can't. I have to go get it and show you if you want to see. But I made a prop to photograph for the back of the book. Like that's my contribution to the back of the book.
Well, anyone who wasn't aware, the back of Elsewhere Volume 1 has eyes on it, and those are Sarah's eyes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, they're heavily photoshopped. Like this is not what that looks like. So sorry. You don't get like the crackhead under eye circles. You don't get all that. Just
real quick, I had something I wanted to give a shout out. Man, I'm never sure quite how to pronounce his last name, but we have a fellow Austinite also working in it. Gene Selassie. I've actually known Gene for a couple of years now, and I had no idea until about a week ago that he wrote Pool of Tears Saloon.
Yeah, and
I had no idea about that. And he sent me a message being like, "Oh, cool! Hey, how cool is it? We're working on the same anthology." And I'm like, "You said what now?" and
that's
started talking, and I was like, "Oh, that's just really cool. I'm really happy for him." So, Pool of Tears Saloon. I'm excited to read that as well. I've never read Gene's work, so
he had a one pager kind of in the same universe in Elsewhere 1.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is a continuation of that.
Very nice. Yeah. There's a certain crew of people here in Austin that Gene and I run in, and we're all kind of we all used to be associated with Spill.com, which was a big multimedia, like movie reviews and video game reviews kind of news website, and then that got shut down at a certain point, and we all kind of were scattered to the winds. But there are just so many people that I know here in Austin. I'm very, very fortunate that so many of them are super creative, and now I'm just really happy that Gene's getting some writing work out there, getting his work get his work out there. And I'm hoping the same thing can happen for some of the other folks I know who also have really good ideas. That's the thing, is that I just with stuff like Kickstarter, so many of those barriers to entry are just gone now. And creative people who have these stories they're aching to tell can now tell them without having a images ass. I don't know. I don't want to piss anybody off. So,
Sure. Well, hey, if you got a moment for a breath there, Jonathan Chance has just showed up, so we're gonna have him come on here now too. See, seven's not the most, is it? Last time we had 8, did we? We had, and shit got really.
There's room for 8.
Screen layout. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Hello. Oh yeah, I was just listening to Matt's story. That was funny. Just listening to. And then I noticed there's a ceiling fan. I missed what the ceiling. Who's the ceiling fan?
It's a what?
What's the
Also a Jurassic puppet.
Oh, who is the ceiling fan? Who is that? That's funny.
That's Paul Hanley. He writes Unthinkables for us, and he's also writing a story in Elsewhere with Matt Frank. They're doing a story together. Right. I keep pointing the wrong direction. Right. Matt Frank's over there.
Well, you guys are over here. Right. So you guys are over here now. Ha ha! I'm up here now.
Oh man, I'm gonna screw with everybody now. Like, look what I can do.
What?
See, now I fucked y'all up.
Wait, now y'all over here. You're up there. I got Muppets now. I'm just like, I put my hands up here, just womp 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 womp. Just, there you go. There you go.
There was a thought a while ago about the different kinds of work that we had, and like Miss Medusa is part of like a standalone project that's developing into something. We have some that are clearly written as their own piece. Some that are kind of a pitch for a bigger thing. Some like Gene's that are, the first. It was just like a 1 page with a whole lot of artists on it. And then the Pool of Tears Saloon is different art team, cool looking, same story. So I like the format of keeping things shorter a lot. I love my issues. I love my graphic novels, but like it's hard to get your hands on good shorts unless you're reading them online or like in some anthology that you check out from the library or something. So I'm glad we can bring this to people in all its different formats and ways of telling.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Paul and I actually worked on a proposed anthology about a year or two ago that unfortunately has been put on the back burner for the time being. But that's not to say that it wouldn't still happen, especially because I'm functionally in the process of buying the rights to all the stories that were written for it. But so that could still happen. But like, I love anthologies, and I've been trying to. Several projects I've tried to work on over the years have been like, okay, but they could be an anthology, and when you get this guy and this person and this woman and this guy and this gal, and just like. Because I just want to work with my friends, and I want to work with people I want to work with who I think are talented people. And of course, one of the inevitable roadblocks you hit is people will be like, yeah, but like, you have any names? Got any names? And I'll be like,
I got binders full of names. So, and John, don't you have like binders full of stories too? I mean, like you're, what you have 2 in this book? Is that right?
That's 2 in this one. Yeah.
How many did you have in the last one?
Oh, I wasn't in the last one actually. No, I wasn't in the last one. I wish I was. No, I actually I bought your original Elsewhere, and then I was like, wow, I wonder if I can try to contribute to the next one.
Okay.
That's when I sent in the 2 stories, hoping to get one in.
It seems like I had read more than 90 of your stories. It's
90.
90. That was an artificially hyperbolic number.
Right.
It seems like I've read a lot.
Right. Unless you're thinking of John Crowder, because he was in the first one and he's in the second one as well. He's a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of Johns.
I know. It gets confusing then, doesn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree with what Matt was saying. Because you obviously, it's great to get a name, and that's what I've been trying to do. One of the first things I was trying to do was something, my own horror anthology type thing. But what I end up doing is I end up finding other anthologies to give the separate stories to as well, and this was a great one to do that. But I've been the same way. It's like I wanted to get on board people that were people that I loved, or professionals obviously, but also giving a platform to brand new up and coming artists that would never get the opportunity. So to put them on the same podium as such, it's a great thing. So like with one story I used, like one story that's in elsewhere is with art by Ron Joseph, who's done a whole bunch of stuff, Transformers, ROM, G.I. Joe, and he's done some horror stuff too. And then meanwhile the other story in it, which is great, completely different story, but different and great in its own different way, is by a guy called Emi Uchura. He's done some stuff, but he's still up and coming and new. But you'd never know the difference, because if they're all good, regardless of their name, it doesn't matter as long as it makes a great story. And that's why this book will work so well as well, Elsewhere Volume 2, because you've got that combination of all the great new artists that are up and coming and professionals as well, and they all fit in well because they're all great at what they do.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's such a I remember kind of riffing off of that point, I'm reminded of, I was listening to a YouTube video with Dan Harmon on it a couple of years ago, the co-creator of Rick and Morty and Community and all that.
Right.
And
cool.
his whole thing while he was telling the story was about how he wanted to write stories and cast people he knew, not just because they were his friends, but because they were people he trusted, people he was like, well, I know this person, they're good at what they do, and I want them to get a chance to shine. I want them to get a chance to stand out. And of course, he would always get pushback from higher ups who were like, oh, you just want to cast your friends and stuff. You can't just cast your friends and stuff. You can't just like make projects for your friends. And it's like, well, my friends are talented people. I mean, at the same time, I understand the importance of needing names attached to things. I get it. Like there's a certain level of profit margins and all that crap, but hopefully your product will speak for itself, and you can build enough of a groundswell. That's, again, keep saying it, but that's why Kickstarter is so great, because you get to build a community and build off that community for something that wouldn't normally exist otherwise.
Right. And you're building those names as well. You're building those names that aren't quite names yet, or they will be one day. So it takes this opportunity that they weren't getting before just because they're not a name to get that opportunity. And then it only takes, an artist or a writer to see their work and be, oh, I'd love to work with this person. I love their style or the way that they've done this particular story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I started doing in the Godzilla community, in the Godzilla fandom. There's tons of artists and writers who are really talented and really good at what they do. And it's funny because that's kind of how Paul and I met. Paul and I just happened to both be working on IDW's Godzilla covers back in 2011. And I remember a mutual friend of ours introduced us when we were at a bar, I think.
Was that Austin Books?
Was it Austin Books, or was it at...
Yeah, it was an Austin Books party.
But I remember it being at that coffee shop that was kind of central Austin somewhere. We could be here all night. But
I still can't get over that you're talking to the ceiling.
but
It's like, actually, no, correction.
the direction. There he is. But yeah. So once I heard that Paul, it's a friend of ours said, "Oh yeah, you did a Godzilla cover? This guy over here did a Godzilla cover," and Paul showed me his stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, this is great." That's kind of how we bonded, and we started hanging out and stuff. And I've been, Paul and I have been working on some capacity with each other. God, pretty much since we met. I mean, he and I even pitched a big Godzilla miniseries to IDW, which unfortunately got shot down.
Yeah, they went with the shit one.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make a word that sucked, and they lost the license because it sucked.
A little more to it than that. Godzilla Oblivion is a rough one. Godzilla Oblivion was a really rough miniseries.
Oh shit, he named it. I wasn't gonna name it, Matt.
Oh, whatever. No, well,
now we know.
Sucks. I'm just saying the one that sucks is Godzilla Oblivion. But
we're gonna have a headline tomorrow. Matt Frank trashes Godzilla Oblivion on BuzzFeed.
The people who I pissed off talking about Godzilla King of the Monsters, none of them even know what Godzilla Oblivion is. So
true, there's a lot. Right.
Yeah, I got my hot takes. But yeah, so
This wall is freaking me out a little bit there.
Wait, I got one. I can match Johnny. Hold on. I just gotta put him right here. And then that.
I'm the only asshole who doesn't have toys at their desk. Like, I don't know why I don't have any toys here, but there's nothing.
I don't.
Yeah, I have a ton, just not within reach.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I have a shitload of toys all over the place, but I don't have any here.
I have a bunch of like Gundams that I built I could use, but they're like all over there.
You gotta be like Matt and have a bunch of crap within reach and just do the work beforehand.
Yeah.
I possibly could, but it's like a original Buzz Lightyear and it's in a box.
Original Buzz, from what was that, 2000?
Yeah, the first film. Yeah, my dad bought it and it's always been in the box since then.
What's Toy Story? The first Toy Story was
94.
that 2000 or was that
95?
Yeah, it was
it
long
was
time ago.
It was in 2 houses ago, so that was a long time ago for me.
I'm so out of the loop on Gundams, Lori. I have no idea which one that one is.
I don't remember. I built it a long time ago, and I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, hey, it was just dropped in. Yeah, I'm just sitting here like, but I've got more toys I can show off.
I'm sitting here frantically searching for anything that's within reach, and I'm like, oh, I got this shitty cup that I made in ceramics class 2 semesters ago.
Show it.
Hey, that's not shitty cup. That's the cool cup. That's a chalice.
It originally had a weird lid because the assignment was like we had to make 6 things that were closed and 6 things that were open, and we could have 1 thing that had a lid that was closed, and it had a top on, and it was, and I dropped it and broke it, so I was like, yeah, well, that's not happening anymore. But
yeah,
I just realized that this Buzz Lightyear has been in the box for 20 years or something now, and it's still, actually, if you press the buttons, it still makes a noise. It's still tall.
Batteries.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean,
wasn't that the 90s? That was 94, wasn't it? Is that the first? You said
I gotta Google
the first one.
Toy Story.
That's 94, 95, I think.
95. You were right. It's 1995. Holy shit! I'm old.
I know. I think
That'd be worth something on eBay, probably.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's my dad's.
Was that a Rebel Fighter? What was that?
What's that, Lori?
Well, real quick, Lori, that's from
Sailor Moon?
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade, yeah.
I got there. No, this is Fuji. She's from the Science Patrol from Ultraman.
Wow.
Yeah. Does have that Orange Rebel fighter quality to it, though. But
I have like My Little Ponies everywhere, and I have like a shitload of Disney Infinities, and I just have stuffed animals everywhere, and nothing is close enough to show you.
Here's my.
Yeah.
I like what this stream has devolved to.
Just showing off our toys.
Collector's hour.
Just a second while in between here. Let me see. We're at 180. It's loading. Hi, internet. All right, we're at 186 backers. I do have a secret stretch goal to announce at 200. That actually involves a print from John Chance's.
Woo!
One of John Chance's stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I even
artist, he did this great, really nice art piece for it, and it's just specially ready for this because it's not in the comic. So it would kind of be good for this or a potential cover type thing. But yeah, it's really nice. So yeah, hopefully we can get up to that, and that'll be the 200 back or whatever. So yeah, that's really good. I wish we had a picture.
14 to go.
This is sorry. I was just gonna say I got her. This is what my wife got me for Christmas.
Oh, what? That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
I met her at DragCon.
Really?
I met her Cassandra Peterson, and the line wasn't even that long either. It wasn't even that long because everyone was there to see all the other queens, and obviously if it was a horror convention, it would be all the way out the door. But because everyone was there to see all the different queens at DragCon, it was only about 15 people in the line, and my wife and I got to see it. So it was cool.
That would be the way to do it, though, because you don't want to go to a horror show and have to wait 2-3 hours in line to meet Cassandra Peterson. You want to go to a show where maybe you can take a minute to say hi and kind of be like, what I was
a lucky coincidence, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, you're the reason I eventually figured out I like girls, and
Actually, I got them signed. You know what? I can actually get you, if I can find them, which I'm going to go look from. But she signed a pop figure and a comic as well, one of her comics too. So
nice.
when we lined up,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
very cool.
We're doing that right now.
I listened to a podcast about her back in October. I think it was Page 7 is the podcast. It's from the last podcast on the Left Network. They did a whole thing about her, and they told a bunch of stories about her. I had no idea. She went on a date with Elvis.
I know. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I read that one.
The whole character Elvira is inspired by drag, and in fact, she considers Elvira as a character to be kind of asexual, like she's playing a man playing a woman. Basically, she's a woman playing a man playing a woman. Like that's the character of Elvira, and I just find that fascinating. And she's 100% legit. Like she was reading Famous Monsters of Filmland when her sisters were playing with Barbies and stuff. Like she was 100% legit horror movie fan. So it just
they should make a movie about her actually, because I think one of the first people that she got with, quote unquote, we know what that means, was Tom Jones apparently. Yeah, that was the other one. Elvis, Tom Jones. There was someone else. She was like the female Forrest Gump before she became famous.
The way the story went. Yeah, no, the way the story went, she went on one date with Elvis, but she was 17, so they couldn't exactly do anything. But she said that she wished she had pushed him to lose her virginity to him.
That was it. Yeah, I think it was in a book or something. I can't remember. It was in an article or a book or something.
Yeah, but
That's
she
right.
did say that he gave her the advice to like go off, like don't stay in Vegas, go
That's
off
right.
and go take acting lessons, take singing lessons and stuff.
That's right.
He gave her like, really good
Yeah.
advice. So I don't know. I just think it's really cool. I'll stop talking about Elvira.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Well, Katie, I wanted you have. I'm going to put you on the spot because you haven't talked very much. I just wanted to know what you're up to on the non-comic front. I know that you have at least one dog commission that you're working on.
Yes, I know. I just finished that one, and I've got a commission to do a cat. And I still keep thinking about doing some more stuff about the girls from the Seeker as well, because it's like I kind of got so used to drawing them all the time. I kind of got a bit like institutionalized. I was like, I need to be drawing something for the Seeker.
I think Lori, I think that the cat commission thing is your fault. She told me that she had a cat commission, and yeah, I was like, fucking Lori.
Yeah, for years and years and years, everyone was like, if ever said I didn't know what to draw, I think it was like Sarah and this one of my Australian friends were like, draw kittens. Yeah, it was a few of you, and it became a thing. It was like if I ever said I didn't know what to draw, people would say kittens, and I'd be like, no kittens. So, but yeah, Laurie finally kind of got me to draw a cat because she paid me. So
it turned out the secret was to give her money.
Yeah.
Katie, have you heard about the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service competition for the best duck stamp?
Yeah, I've got quite a few friends who actually enter that, but I just can never remember to do it. So sorry. Yeah, I'm quite glad this doesn't have smell-o-vision because my elderly dog is like gassing me out right now. Yeah, that was quite that one. Yeah, he's like 14 and a half, and he doesn't make many noises, but he certainly smells. So
they don't make Beano for dogs. It's bad news.
Yeah. He's a great dog, but yeah, he's a bit ripe tonight. Yeah. Otherwise, I've been just building the wall again, which is like my endless project that I've been working on for like the last 5 years or so.
It's so cool. I love the pictures that you post.
Yeah, it's
I've been following the saga of the wall, and I remember the talk when you were talking about it. I was like, she's not building a real, like, it's not really a wall, like a wall, and it's a fucking wall. Like she's building. It's like, what is it, like 4 or 5 feet? Like it's really high too, isn't it? 3 feet at least.
Oh no,
it's like building like a couple rocks high little border type thing, and no, just building a goddamn wall.
Well, there's 2 walls. There's like one that's about 4 feet tall, and the other one's about knee height at the moment. But before the wall, there was the hole, the fucking giant pond hole that I decided because I don't do things by halves, so I decided to build a pond. But instead of just like making a small pond, it's 11 feet by 9 feet by about like 4 feet deep. And my ground is like it's spade depth and you hit rocks, so I dig most of it with a brick hammer and a pickaxe, and I borrowed my dad's jackhammer at one point because there was rocks, and this has taken me 5 years to get to this point, and I'm just like, I need to finish this pond. But no, it's kind of once I've got that out of the way. Once I've got that out of the way, I'm going to start doing it.
Commission, but you're gonna have the pond in commission by the end of the summer, right? It's gonna happen. Well, I have faith.
Yeah, I did think that the last 4 years, so
okay, fair enough. But it's like really close now, right? You just have the one wall and a little bit of.
The thing is, because it's a dry stone wall, I'm kind of like, is this going to be strong enough for the water pressure on it? Because I'm just having these nightmares about putting the water in, and it's just going to fall over, and I'll just cry because I've just spent so much long on it. But yeah, I'm just hoping it isn't, because I mean I can walk on it and it doesn't move, so I think it'll be fine. It just needs the stones on the top, because that's going to be the problem as well, finding the stones. Because I didn't even have good stones for it. It was just all this stuff that's been laid out on in the garden that we've got, because you've got kind of like about half an acre. So yeah, and it's all rocks. So
yeah, I hear about projects like that, and I'm just like, because my wife wants to do stuff like that at our house. She wants to like put in a pergola or redo the landscaping, the front yard, and I'm just like, that sounds like a lot of work.
Hire people to do that. It's fine.
do that. I'm going to call my brother-in-law. He'll come and do it for me.
You can hire Katie to do that. It turns out she's very money motivated.
Come on out to Texas. I'll push you to work.
I don't think I can handle the heat in Texas.
It's nice and cold now.
It's not hot there right now.
Yeah, that's kind of like Scotland weather at the moment, which is fine. It's just like,
yeah. Oh, it'll get hot fast. I tell you what. I'll tell you what, it's going to get hot fast. Texans can't handle this kind of catastrophe. We need to get the propane tanks up and running. And sorry, I'm.
I mean, like, I did kind of feel sorry for you guys because you're not really set up for that sort of thing. I mean, in Scotland, we've got all the gritters with all the names, like, a Plower of Scotland and, Gritty Bang Bang and stuff like that. There's like an entire list of all of the names of the gritters in Scotland. It's hilarious. There's some absolutely brilliant ones.
And you can watch them in real
an interactive map where you can see where they are.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. I had a lot of my Wisconsin friends, like I'm up in Wisconsin and all my friends and just making all these jokes, just shitting on Texas for not being able to handle a couple of, it's like, dude, they don't get snow down there. Like, yeah, 3 inches to us isn't the big deal. We got to go to school the next day. But like, we have plows and like, I bought a snow shovel. Like, who in Texas owns a fucking snow shovel? Why would you have a snow shovel unless you moved to Texas from Wisconsin? Like, why?
I didn't have a shovel for when it happened. And Paul has his own horror stories, but we didn't have a shovel, so I couldn't do anything. So I waited for the snow to melt just a little bit before trying to go out there and maybe clear some of it away with like a broom or something. And then it's like a layer of ice underneath that. So I'm sitting out there for an hour and a half with a hammer hitting the ice so that we walk out of our house and don't slip and die. So
hey, do you have a water softener in your house?
The water was all cut off.
Well, I mean not the water cut off. Like I'm saying the water softener, because if you have a water softener, that means you have water softener salt, and salt is the trick. You don't need to fuck around chipping away the salt. Or chipping away the ice. You just need to throw salt on it. But it needs to be that fine grit stuff.
I was thinking about salt, though. I was thinking about salt, and I was thinking about how much food we had still in the house.
Oh God, that's a whole nother thing.
A whole other ball game.
And animals.
Throwing it outside, right?
Yeah.
We actually bought crampons just to go down to the chickens because my garden's a slope and it was like minus 14 Celsius at one point. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
God,
it was really cold. And yeah, it's just like, my mum fell over and she's like, it's like 70 now. So I'm just like, we're just going to get crampons to just go down to do the hens and everything. But they were pretty useful because, I mean, it was so bad because all the snow compacts on top of the ice and then it becomes like just absolutely lethal. And then it rained on the snow and then froze again, which is that was the same problem.
And it's like, it makes the snow like the snow becomes a weapon. Like it makes the snow sharp. It's fucking oh God. If you step on it and like the snow, it's fun too because you get that crust on the top of the snow and you can walk across it, but then there'll always be that one spot that's inevitably a little too weak to handle your body weight, and then you go through, and then it like fucking. One time, I shit you not, it ripped my jeans. Like it cut my jeans and sliced a line up my leg. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Why do I live somewhere where it hurts to breathe? Like the air hurts my face and the snow can cut me. What the fuck?
I remember that. That's happened. That sucks. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's
one of the problems that we had this time was that it stopped snowing for a while but then we got like, I don't know, 30, 40 mile an hour winds. So all of the snow blew. It was a whiteout because of the wind, and then it blew it all into the roads. So it was like there's nothing on the fields, but there was about 4 feet in the roads. So even with the plows, we had to get like, my dad just got us back to the house with the 4-wheel drive, but even that was like skidding side to side because we decided to live on a massive hill. So there's no way to get to my house without a massive incline, which is really bad in the snow.
Yeah. The one thing I can safely say I don't think anyone else who has had to deal with a blizzard has dealt with, because I got this one thing over all of you, is when you have reptiles, you have to monitor their heat.
Yeah.
You don't have any power, and it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit in your house. You've gotta get moving. You gotta get some action going. So you go, and I went and I got I grabbed my wife and I said, hey, we gotta get our ball python's tank into the guest room where we're all hunkered down with candles going just to try to create some heat. And we put her in there. Now, thankfully, reptiles can last a couple of days or even longer with super low temperatures. Their bodies just kind of shut down. And but I reached in there and I thought, I better check on her just to be safe. So I reached in there and I pulled her out, and she's like, and occasionally this little, like the little tongue would come out. And it would,
I mean, I laugh. It's the way you're saying it.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just put her in my lap for a couple of minutes, just get her nice and warmed up. And so I put her in my lap, and she's not moving. She's just kind of like whatever a snake does. And then I put a blanket on top of her, and I just didn't think about it, just on my phone. And then I'm like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Her bowels had activated as soon as she started absorbing my body heat. And with snakes, it all just kind of comes out. And so I
smelled and felt awesome.
Well, thankfully, snake poop doesn't smell that bad. It certainly didn't feel good, though, and I definitely was not going to wear those pants after that. But I picked her up, and I managed to okay, let's put you back in your tank so you can finish. And then because she was removed from the heat, she had to stop. So I know this is TMI, but you can imagine what it must look like to help a snake go to the bathroom.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I cannot.
I mean, that's honestly the highlight of the
as it were
live stream, I think. That's probably the best part that we've got. Half in, half out snake poop.
Yeah, well, it felt a lot better afterwards. She got nice and warmed up, and then she's all over the place. She's like getting up into my hair, and I'm like, no, stay under the blanket.
You took a dump on me, thank you. I don't want to pet you right now.
Like, yeah, I get it. Okay, yes, I know.
Yeah, the people that have tropical pets, that I'm a aquarium nerd, and I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups there, and it was so heartbreaking reading everybody's posts about all their fish are dead.
Oh.
Because of the Texas blackout thing. I mean, I just felt so bad for everybody down there, except Ted Cruz. He can go fuck himself.
That happened with one of my friends as well. She doesn't live she lives in a caravan, so she had the Betis, is it? The fighting fish type ones.
Oh yeah, Betis, yeah.
Yeah, and it was really, really cold, as it often is in Scotland during winter, and her heater died in her tank, and she didn't realise, and so did the fish, sadly. It's really sad when that happens, though, because I mean it's just there's not much you can do about it, especially if you don't realize that the heat is gone.
It is I never really even considered that with I took a long break from the aquarium stuff, and it never occurred to me until this stuff, even after I set up my new one here after how many years. What do you do? What do you do when that happens? If the power's out for more than a few minutes, what do you do? They need they need oxygen, and they need the agitation of the water, and they need heat. If there's no heat, what do you do?
You have my sticklebacks, which have proved to be just about immortal in this winter. I mean, it's -14 and they're still alive. They're just, I think they're just hiding out under the ice.
I mean, when the ice was the tank was solid, I was like, well, maybe they aren't going to be alive, because I was just assuring Kate, she was telling me about this, and I was like, oh, they'll be fine as long as there's still some unfrozen water. And she's like, well, I'm not sure there is, and I'm like, oh, then they might.
There was 5 inches of ice, solid ice in the tank, and I was like, I can't see the bottom of the ice. I don't know if they're still going to be here.
Yeah.
But they were, and they're still fine, and there's baby ones as well, so they've been breeding under the ice as well.
Whoa. Kind of cool.
Apparently that's what you need to do, is freeze them. Yeah. Oh, the sticklebacks here are pretty much unkillable too. So I mean, I've never had one in an aquarium. I just did the river, and they're bastards.
They probably eat everything else.
Mm. Yeah. So that's something that made me think about the Texas thing didn't affect me at all. But now I'm like on my Amazon wish list, I've got like those Mylar foil blankets that I can I'm gonna buy some of those so that I can wrap them around my aquarium if the power goes out in the middle of December, and like bubbler thingers that can run on batteries and shit like that. So it was like that is not something I ever really thought about until now.
Mine, my Amazon wish list consists of snow shovel, snowshoes, and a new governor.
Governors can't be bought.
On that one. I'll chip in for that gift. Well, do you guys does anybody have any like parting thoughts that you want to give us? Because I mean, we've pretty much covered everything, I think. We talked about Unthinkables, we talked about Elsewhere, we talked about Ted Cruz, we talked about snakes shitting on us.
Yeah, if there's any questions too, feel free to ask in the comments.
I just showed Lori today, like we're gonna do some St. Patrick's Day stuff for in our T Public store. So there's that. So look out for that soon too. But yeah, I think that we covered everything.
Lush, I hope.
Yes.
What?
The Unquenchable Lush, I hope.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously.
Yes, finally. It'll be our first merch with him on it. So
Nice.
I can't believe that. Like, well, I guess there was maybe stickers. Do we even do stickers with him? Because I feel like I made something with everybody, but I don't know. He just fell by the wayside. It's weird that happened.
Yeah. If you guys have anything, since there's no questions, I don't know if Big Tim Bears is still there. He was a Twitch guy who said, "Yo, hi,
Yo.
Big Tim Bears."
Oh shit, I missed it.
Yeah, if anyone has questions or if you guys have shit to plug. I know John Chance has like 75 projects at the same time. And Matt has a
Yeah, are you still taking orders on your turtle print?
Oh, my turtle print. That took me a second. I guess real quick, we technically cut off orders today. We'll probably get a couple of stragglers still coming in, but we're going to take a little break. We're going to focus on getting our first wave out. The prints are all made. The comics are on their way. I got Kablam on the horn, and they already printed them and shipped them out. So I'm just waiting on those. Other than that, I do have a lot of stuff happening in 2021. I just can't talk about any of it because it's all NDAs and super hush hush. But I link stuff. I post stuff all the time on social media. I try to spread the word about everything I'm working on. If you want to listen to me weekly, you can go over to rageselect.com or Rage Select on YouTube and listen to me scream about video games. But that's about it for me at the moment. I got a turtle here. Look at him dance.
That's cool.
John, you had something?
Mike Dolan asked if Paul's still there. Did his camera freeze? And I think, Paul, are you still there? I thought I saw it move.
I'm here.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
Observing. He's just observing.
Inking a Miss Medusa background.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. He's been showing me some of the stuff he's been working on, and it's just it's looking real good. I should be working on Medusa stuff, but instead I'm doing Godzilla fan art. So
No comments.
Oh, that's awesome.
Shade.
I gotta do something for myself sometimes.
It's not on camera.
What's that?
It's not on cost.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, want to give us one last somebody, whoever has the Kickstarter thinger up. Want to give us one last reading if we moved it all. I keep forgetting to pull it up myself because this computer can totally handle it, but my last one could not. So I was always like, somebody else do it. But now I can do it myself.
8112.
8112. Oh, we're getting so close.
That's got to be numerologically significant too.
8112.
8112. Surely, like that could be broken down into something interesting. We started with 777, and we're ending with 8112.
That's pretty good.
I'll figure
That's
it out. I
awesome.
mean, I don't know much about numerology, but just
numerology, you just look at the numbers
numbers.
and you make shit up until you get to something that was in a religion at some point, and then you're golden. Oh,
Right.
12.
I know that kind of numerology.
Yeah.
I was raised Catholic. I know that.
Yes.
So, well, if does anybody else have anything else they want to talk about?
I got one more
Jonathan?
thing, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got it's funny. It's basically the choice of how they want to get it. I think so many people have contributed to this, so they're already getting the anthology. But if they want to get the same two stories in a different way, funny enough, it's just the way it's turned out. The same two stories are also going to be in another comic too. It's going to be in Antarctic Press. Horror Comics issue 6. Yeah, it's going to be issue 6. We managed to get the flip cover for it too. So that's pretty cool. Thanks. But the cool thing is people can decide, or they've already got elsewhere they could get that as well. But if they want to have the great sci-fi extravaganza they've got that with all the other wonderful stories by other people. But then if they wanted to have it more just those two stories and someone else's story, I think it's 32 pages, and that one is out now for pre-order. I think the code is MAR 611. Oh, I can't remember what it is. Just put in Horror Comics issue 6. But that's available.
So it's an anthology from Antarctic.
Yeah, it's an ongoing horror anthology thing, but it's nothing like the size of this thing, because this is like I said, it's an extravaganza. Elsewhere is extravaganza, but Horror Comics is just an ongoing 32-page series basically, and they just have different stories each month. And
Cool.
Sometimes they cut them up and then they extend them out other issues. But yeah, there's going to be 3 stories in there, and 2 of them are going to be.
Because it definitely seems like Silver Blue has a lot of room to go into the future. So that would be an awesome opportunity for you to publish the whole thing.
I would love to do. The funny thing is, there's certain stories that are just final. They're short and they're just great, just the way they are. But now all this Silver Blue and Respect Your Elders, both of those are really just kind of teasers for something bigger. I mean, I'd love to do a mini series off of Respect Your Elders, because I could go into how the I won't say what it is, but how the thing got there, and what happens to the people afterwards, and what happened to the people before all the other people. So I could do a mini series of that. I could do, and then with Now All Is Silver Blue, again, well, that ends kind of on a downer, either way you look at it. But that's a whole new universe that could open up into something, or so yeah.
That's exciting, dude. I'm happy for you.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it all happens. I think it's funny because I've been working hard for like 3 years constantly on all these different stories, and it's just the way it is that all of a sudden they're all opening up. It's been nothing for ages. It's been we've got something too similar, or or we're not interested in this right now, or or you just can't get response. So all of a sudden when it opens up, that's a cool thing when it's all at once.
Excellent.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I guess I did think of one other thing. Unless I didn't want to cut off Jonathan, if you were you done?
Oh no, I'm done.
Okay, I didn't want anybody off. I'm talking a lot, so one other thing I did want to make mention of is that my cover for Trials of Ultraman for Marvel comes out March 17th is when that hits.
Wow.
So for anybody watching, go talk to your local comic shop and make sure you get your order in, because I think I can't remember if it's a variant or if it's limited, but it's one of the two. Either way, it might be hard to get after the first run. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
very exciting. It's just and I'm doing some stuff with the Antarctic too, which is really cool too. I just can't talk about that either. So
Oh, that's cool as well.
yeah, good to hear. Yay.
Well, yeah. I think that we're done for real now, are we? Anybody else have anything else to add?
Yeah, no, if you want to back the Kickstarter, it's uhstudios.com/Kickstarter. We're so close to the goal. We'd love to hit it and pass it, because the more money we make, we actually give a share to all the contributors. We don't just, make them ask them for their stuff for free. We try to give them some money if we can. And the more money we get, the more we can give them. So that would be great. Also, Unthinkables 1 is in print on our store now. That's uhstudios.com.
Cool.
So you should get in there and buy it. We have 2 covers available, and there's only so many available. So yeah, there it is.
I got them.
Those 2
Buzzing.
covers.
Somebody's buzzing. Oh yeah, the 2 covers.
That was me, I think. Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
I got mine.
Ah,
Oh, Paul finally. Yeah, I'm so glad you
don't
guys
do
finally
that,
got
because
it.
you make it look like everyone's.
Oh, Katie, Paul wins. Damn it.
Man.
We were gonna have a bet. I was gonna make a pool and everything about if Paul would get his stuff before Katie got hers.
Yeah.
Oh. That's awesome.
I've never even seen one of those metal prints up close, and you've done them for a
Oh
couple.
man,
Very
Actually,
cool.
I started
Your
doing
box
it right
is coming.
before
I'm gonna
COVID.
send you a box, and it's gonna have metal
I have
prints
a
in it.
box that has your birthday present and your Christmas present, and I still haven't put any of it. Like I have, it's just gonna end up being. I'm gonna have to get a U-Haul to send it by the time I actually do send it, because that's how I roll. But yeah, no, I've actually, I think that the metal print thing happened right about the COVID time, which is when I was like, hey, Lori, I need these comics. I need this and this and this and this. Can you send me some, replenish my shit for the cons? And then everything got canceled. And I was like, yeah, you don't have to spend that money on that box anymore, because I don't need that right now. And it turns out. So I went to one con last year, and it wasn't even a big one. The cons I go to are big. That was a silly thing to say.
I was going to go to the Aberdeen one finally this year, but that's been cancelled as well. So
everything's online now, and the online cons just aren't as good. They're just, the gaming stuff. If you do the gaming cons, those are kind of just different, not necessarily worse, but as a vendor, as an artist, it sucks. The online cons, they just suck. I didn't get a single sale from any of them that I've done at all. Well, I guess we did sell one comic book, didn't we? One in August at CooleyCon in August. I think we sold one.
Yeah, it's definitely harder when people don't have stuff in their hands.
yeah.
And you can't
sell.
really drum up the same level of excitement as you can when somebody's in front of your table, and you can be like, yeah, and then look at this page, and like, this is sword, and the sword's fucking awesome, and you can't get, you just can't convey that over the internet.
I don't even
When
know
somebody's
that they even
cosplay is
do.
so funny, and you're like, "Woo, that's hilarious!" and then they come talk to you.
Did they even do the free comic book day last year? I didn't go to it. So did any? I was going to say there wasn't. So
No,
this
that was
year,
like,
unless
what is
it's
it?
distanced, I don't know.
First weekend in May, is that what it is usually?
Yeah, normally is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So
we were
again,
all
this
like
year,
wondering if we're going to have to eat our family members at that point.
They didn't even know how to stop the spread except to tell everybody to stay in your damn house. Like they didn't know
let's figure it
the
out.
mask thing and we had nothing at that point.
right,
Ugh.
yeah.
That was wild. Like that was, we had the windows open here because the apartment's right next to the overpass. So if you open the windows, it's loud as shit, and I hate it. But we had the windows open for like 2 months straight last spring because nobody was driving, so it was super quiet and beautiful. And I'm gonna miss that about COVID. So, all right, I should say let's go. We're leaving for reals this time because
Let's go. Let's leave.
final
Yeah,
thoughts.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you everybody who's watching and who stuck around for the end. John just doesn't wait for me to actually.
He just leaves. John just leaves.
Batman's out of here.
You guys know about that time that I was on Mike Watson's and Mike Watson's live stream with John, and what?
No, go ahead. Sorry, he put a new toy up, and I was like, "What is that?"
I know what that is.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about the live stream I was on with Mike Watson's live stream with John, talking about the surgeon, I think, and he Mike's computer on him, and then John's like, "Everybody bail!" and he fucking left me there. Yeah, he's like, "Run!" and then just left, and I was like, "Are you shitting
Phantom
me?"
of the Paradise. Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah,
right.
That is one of Paul's
All
favorite.
right, so that's gonna have to go on the list too. Is like a live stream, just everybody showing off like 10 of their very coolest toys. That's just gonna happen.
The only thing I can show off is a wizard I've made when I was like, I don't know, 12 or something. It's a little wizard.
Oh, it's so
cute. It's adorable.
Look at his beard. That's so cute.
So,
get on my kids' Teen
thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Ooh, Luma, and we'll see you next time, which will hopefully be soon. And back to Kickstarter and tell your friends and all that shit. And have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Bye.